What's going on? We are back on PWZ Podcast. We are back pushing out more content on a different day. And Rick can tell you, the fans are growing. The fans are
We
enjoying
have
the content.
we have grown so much in the last week since our last episode. So I just want to say, I put it up on the YouTube channel that once we hit 1,000 subscribers, which hopefully will be soon, there is going to be a giveaway. We're going to be giving away a shirt, and I am going to throw some extra stuff in there. So if you listen to us, you're not subscribed, please subscribe, like, share, and tell all your friends because we are going to be having a big contest. I'm going to be giving away a whole prize pack, including an official PWZ shirt. So get on that. We got a lot to talk about. Big weekend for professional wrestling. AEW was on Friday, Saturday. We're going to be talking about Smackdown. Going to be talking about Raw. But first, we attended I attended a very good indie show on Saturday, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling's Elm City Showdown, in which Marcel is a big part of. So I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a little bit different, but I guess you guys are going to be. Well, there's a lot of new faces. That's not a bad thing. And I guess you guys are going to be releasing the video somewhat soon.
Yeah, soon we're going to release the full event. The event was the setup for the next big event, which is Type 1 and None Round 3 on November 13th at the JCC once again. Tickets will be available this time at the door. It won't be online. You got to be at the door before bell time. Get your tickets. $30 for front row, $20 for general admission. But this is the biggest show after Dieselmania, which was almost a month ago. But Elm City Showdown was a show. You had you want to go down a quick rundown or what?
I have the results in front of me. I actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
The opening match was, and I was very happy to see one of these gentlemen in this match return to Paradise Alley. It was Zafar, teaming up with Adrian Santos. That's the gentleman I like a lot, and I'm glad to see him return. Teaming up with Booker T's prize student, or whatever he calls himself, Cody Perrin, taking on Lou Jacobs, Bull Dread, and John Steele, and Lou, Dread, and Steele took the victory. I can tell you one of the things I noticed in this event, there's a lot of new in the show. People showing up with new gear. There's a lot of new gear involved in this program. Didn't quite take on some of these young guys. So
yeah, man, it's just Paradise Alley taking another turn, try to bring in new, fresh talent. And some new and some old and some of the current, and just mix them all up and just see what comes out of the out as a diamond. As we go along with this whole show, we have a few more new talents that decided to make their debuts and returns.
Yeah, Andy Bivens defeated Sunset Steven Garcia. This was another great match. I thought Sunset Steve was really good in this, and Bivens, right? That's how you pronounce it. I've seen him before, and I think he's quite the talented young man.
Yeah, Andy Bivens made his return back. It's been like almost 2 years since he haven't been in PAPW. He faced Steven Garcia, which is a young rookie that's continuing to make the runs around the territories of the Northeast.
He has got a bright future, him as well, and he's growing and getting better and better with every match. That he has. He's a very talented young man. Then the Flash came out for his little celebration, and he said he was basically willing to take on anybody. And then what did we hear over the radio? Def Leppard appear over the loudspeaker, and then who comes out but Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling owner Mario Mancini.
Yes.
And he attacks Flash Waller and says, "Nobody said I was done wrestling." And now for the next event, Type 1 and None, it's going to be Mario challenging Flash for the Alley Fights Championship. This one, I got to tell you, and I was telling you before off air, that I actually did pop for this one. when I heard Mario's
Yes.
music because I said I cannot wait to see this. I hope that he's going to challenge him. So a dream come true for me. I am a Mario Mancini fan, actually. So one of the things that I even told this when I interviewed him that when I was a kid and I'd watch him on TV, I always thought it was the coolest thing when they would announce him from Milford, Connecticut, because that was only 20 minutes
Yes.
for me. 20 minutes for me. So I always was like, that's so awesome. And every time I went to Milford, I was like, I wonder if I'll run into Mario Mancini. I was a young kid.
Hey, now you run into him. Now he's around the area now.
Yeah, I see him like at least twice a month now. So on top of that, Karen Bam Bam defeated what do you pronounce it? Demarius Dawkins. Is that correct?
Demarius Dawkins. Yes.
Yep. I
Ring
thought
of
this was.
Honor. One of Ring of Honor.
Yep.
Performers. Yep.
And then Shea Cash and he crushed Ryan Mooney. I really thought that kid was about to break his neck on one of the maneuvers. The young kid.
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
He went for a backdrop and he went legs first into the ropes, and the way he bounced off the ropes like after because his feet hit it, I was like I cringed thinking that he might have landed on his neck like the back bit. So I'm glad to see after the show that he was up and walking around.
Yeah, I checked on him after the event. I was like, dude, you all right? And he was like, yeah. He was like, because I covered it. He was like, I was good. I was like, all right. I just want to make sure, dude, because that was a nasty fall, dude.
Yeah.
I'm glad he made out safe.
Yeah. Also, another friendly gentleman as well. He was very friendly after the show. I got a chance to talk a little bit. In the four-way for the Paradise Alley Tag Team Championship, the Haven successfully defended against the Hispanic Mechanics. Was at the Hoods and Seek and Destroy. And afterwards, Team Hispania, Hispanic Mechanics, went to go celebrate with the Haven, but they turned on them.
Yes, they did.
I thought that was a pretty decent match. Yeah.
Hey, I guess Hispanic Mechanics are tired of losing. You know,
they've been doing a lot of work in Paradise Alley elsewhere as well, but they've been kind of putting in a lot of good work for Paradise Alley. I think they faced the House of Pain a couple times and come up short. So yeah, I guess they were a little frustrated.
Time for attitude change, I guess, from them.
Absolutely. There was a very good bull rope match. Lucas Chase defeated Bloodsaw. This match was a little bit brutal. I really enjoyed this match a lot. I gotta tell you, I am glad Lucas Chase won. So,
damn, the truth comes out. Okay.
Hey, I told you, and I think I've said this on this podcast before with you that he's doing a good thing. He is the cure for professional wrestling. He's out to cure professional wrestling. So
listen, as long as you don't cure me, I'm all good.
And in the main event, we had Matthias, the PAPW heavyweight champion, defending against Intercontinental champion Kylon King, and Kylon King came up short for this one, and Matthias retained. This was a pretty brutal match at times. There was times where it was just. I honestly did not know what was going to happen in this match. I wouldn't have been surprised if Kylon King actually took the title.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a back and forth match. A few times I thought Kylon King was going to take it, and Matthias ended up pulling out once again, like from Dieselmania 5 and from the Rumble, as he continues to be the PAPW champion.
Yeah. So let me ask you, because, well,
shoot,
I didn't get to see it after the show. I mean, I got to see it briefly after the show, but I know you also had a busy weekend, and we always start the episode off with talking about the world of Marcel Williams, like what's going on in your world, wrestling-wise.
Nothing going on. I wasn't scheduled for Elm City Showdown until I heard a rumor that Vlad was going to show up. Right. So, I heard Vlad was going to show up. I popped up and made a challenge. Next month, November 13th, me and Vlad finally in a last man standing match. So that's it looked like he accepted. So that's what's going down. But since we talking about type 1 to none round 3, because I don't want to give Vlad any TV time. So we're gonna talk about some PAPW news that I just found out. I'll make the first announcement here on the podcast, PWZ podcast, and maybe the news come out later on. But it's gonna be a major announcement for the tag team championships. It's gonna be the Haven versus RJ Rude and Zane Bernardo and Zanely Rude.
Wow, that's going to be a big match for the Haven.
Yes.
First
time ever.
Yeah, and Zanely Rude have been getting their name out there. They've been around all over the place in the Northeast. So, yeah, that's going to be a great match. Wow. Very good. I did want to mention about Vlad. I'm sorry. I know you just said you didn't want to give him any TV time, but he interrupted he interrupted the interview with Caesar and CC, and then he ended up attacking Caesar.
Which is uncalled for. It's just uncalled for, ridiculous, and like he was going to try to attack CC like he did last time with Steven young nephew a few months ago.
Oh wow! So that set that up. So I am looking forward to Type 1 to None. I think it's going to be a good show. It's going to be one of your biggest shows of this year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's more news going to come up soon on all our social media outlets for Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling. Stay tuned. But we got some other news, don't we? We got some
we do.
Rundown we have weekly. We got 2 weeks worth almost.
2 weeks worth. I got news on I got some Rampage. I got the buy-in. I got Saturday Night Dynamite. Why don't we start with Friday Night Wrestling, and then I want to talk some Crown Jewel before we end the show today, because when we do our WWE segment. So at the buy-in, this is quite interesting. Santana Garrett and Ty Conti, with Ty Conti taking the victory. Yep, that was a pretty good match. I'm glad to see Santana Garrett on my television. I'll tell you that much, because I thought she was wasted during her time in NXT. Bobby Fish, man, anytime I get to see Bobby Fish, that dude's an amazing talent, literally, and I'm glad to see AEW pick him up. He defeated Lee Moriarty, another young talent. I think that's very, very promising. And of course, probably my favorite match of the week, to be honest with you, Bryan Danielson.
The best match of the week.
Oh my God, it was Bryan Danielson defeating Minoru Suzuki. Now, I was going into this thinking that Suzuki was going to be towering over Danielson. It's not nearly as tall as I thought he was. Right. Maybe just where he is that he towers over everybody. But this match was a chop fest, a smash fest. It was just
it was the stiffest match of the week.
Yes, I really enjoy. But then again, anytime I get to see either Suzuki or Danielson in the ring is always a good thing. And I'm glad to see that Suzuki's doing this tour of the United States right now. He's all over the place in the U.S. So it's kind of awesome that this legend is doing this much work right now, and then making the AEW appearances. So I get to watch them right here, no problem. I don't have to tape trade. Go ahead.
Just like you said, at the age that he is, he's coming in a domestic area. He's tearing it down wherever he go, wherever bookings that he's getting. And AEW is taking advantage of all the dream matches that they need to do as he's here. And I enjoyed it. Listen, that match was so good. Me and my wife was sitting here. She was doing what she was doing. And she turned her head and just looked at the match. Was like, what the hell? Like, she was so invested. So that for that match to happen, I understand why the match happened on YouTube. I respect it. There's a lot of critics out there saying that it shouldn't happen on YouTube. Listen, it was done on YouTube for a reason, to buy you in to watch Rampage.
Yes.
Just be glad that this match was done on YouTube where you can watch it again and again and again. All right, this match was good. It was enjoyable, and Daniel Bryan is at the top of his game right now.
Hold
At the
on.
top of his game.
It's Brian
Oh,
Danielson.
sorry, Brian Danielson. It's the beer talking. Brian
That's all
Danielson's
right.
been on top of his game right now. He gets sued every week. So Brian Danielson is doing what he's been loving to do, and that's wrestling. And
Yes.
he showed it a few weeks ago with Kenny Omega, and he continues to show it right now. We're gonna talk about it in a few minutes where we segue to Dynamite, but he did it with Bobby Fish as well.
I think that with him in AEW, we're just going to be seeing a lot of dream matches. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Matches that we wanted to see, or matches that are just like maybe matches we didn't even know we wanted to see. But he's going to go out there and kill it and have just fantastic matches with everybody.
Absolutely.
So on the Rampage live version on TNT, excuse me.
TNT.
Yeah, sorry, I got confused there for a second.
It's good.
It started out now. CM Punk has been starting out a lot of the television shows. It seems, you know what I mean. His match has been starting first match, and it's to get the crowd. The crowd is absolutely in love with CM Punk still. It's amazing.
Yes.
It literally is amazing. He seems like, you know, that first match that he had was really good, and to show that he had a little bit of ring rust, a little bit, you know, nothing crazy, but it was still a really good match. This match here, dude, this is what his third or fourth match in since returning. It's got to be his fourth, I think. Unless I'm his third match. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
You're
I thought this. What's that? Oh,
now you're welcome.
I thought that this was a really. I mean, Matt Sydal is a phenomenal performer as it is, but I thought that this. I absolutely loved this match. I thought it was fantastic. I really did.
Yeah, it was a real good match. I enjoyed it. Two different styles. And CM Punk continued to tell that story that 7 years off and he still can do the work. You know, so the story is there. Sooner or later, he'd be in a title picture, whether it's the TNT Championship or the AEW Championship. But we just gotta continue to enjoy this long road of redemption of him leaving the wrestling business for 7 years and coming back to be the best in the world.
Yeah, I think that. I'm wondering how long it's going to be before he gets in the title picture. Or do you think he's that veteran that doesn't need to get into the title picture? He's just there to...
He has to be in the title picture soon. I mean, that's him. I mean, Adam Cole's one of them. So it's just going to take time. You just got... Even Daniel Bryan, I'm going to get sued every week. Dag, yo. Get letters on top of letters, yo. Listen,
the American
Brian
Dragon.
Danielson, the American Dragon, Brian Danielson, is going to continue to, be in that little title picture every once in a while. You see he's already in a tournament or eliminator tournament, which we're going to talk about in a few, too. Yeah, man. I mean, the future is bright for AEW. You not only got CM Punk and Brian Danielson, but you got Darby Allin. You got all these guys that's lined up to be AEW champion, and there's so much future in AEW. It's not even funny.
Yet they still keep getting criticisms from the internet fans that just don't buy it.
It's there.
Yeah, man. I just think
they're
that
never happy.
No, they're not. You know, they don't. But the thing is, like, if they're sitting there judging and shitting on AEW and shitting on, what's the other one? WWE. Sorry. What the fuck do they watch? That's my thing. What do they actually like?
They watch the old shit. They watch the old stuff, which is nothing wrong with that. Because I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen. When the WWE Network started, I was the first member to get it, and I watched all the old Nitros. Even though I watched them before, I watched all the old Nitros, all the old NWA 605. There's nothing wrong with that. But I keep saying it because I said it before, and I say it all the time in lockdown. Wrestling evolves. So you need to understand that wrestling evolves. Trust me, the people that did stuff in the 80s, the people in the 70s didn't like. The people in the 90s that did stuff, the people in the 80s didn't like. It's an evolution of the business. and we're in a different evolution of the business, and there's critics every decade of decades. So to me, I really don't pay attention to them because the wrestling business is hot right now. It's not as hot as it was back in the '90s, but it's hot. So just enjoy the time.
See, I have a little thing with what you just said. You're saying that it's not as hot. I'm not disagreeing, but I'm going to say this. Mm-hmm. It's different. Mm-hmm. Right now, we're in a period where, look at certain wrestlers don't have to sign to the major organizations such as WWE in order to make a living.
Yes.
Okay. There's a lot of guys out there that, hey, I can travel to New Japan, or some of these guys work their asses off, such as, I don't know, MJF was doing pretty all right before he signed with AEW, working independents, you know what I mean? With being a top guy in the independents, you know what I mean? So it's different in that aspect. It's not, I don't necessarily think I can't really say whether it's bigger or not. I mean, WWE's producing some of their most profitable times, really.
I mean, the TV contracts are bigger.
Yeah.
The TV contracts are bigger. They got guaranteed contracts with these networks. You know, I mean, before they didn't. It was all about the ratings, and
right.
You know, it's still about the ratings now, but they didn't have the deal that they did before. So basically, I mean, you got WWE's on cruise control, and you got AEW who sit here and get a deal. You know, and before the pandemic, they had a deal that was extra for extra 5 years for more money. So it's just like, you know, you're right. It's a different time.
It's a different time. I'm not saying I disagree or agree. It's just wrestling is humongous right now, but the focus is on different companies. It's like independent wrestling. I mean, God, did you ever think that New Japan was ever going to be as big as it is in the United States? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, they had TV they had TV over here for quite some time. They're on the Roku channel now, on the Roku box thing. So, I mean, it's just an amazing time to be a wrestling. It really is an amazing time. And then there's all these companies working together, with the exception of WWE. All these different companies. There's Impact. There's AEW. There's the NWA. There's AAA out of Mexico. There's, come on, I know I'm forgetting one. I mean, besides ROH, a lot of these companies, they're just working together.
United Network.
Yeah, United Wrestling Network. Yeah.
Yeah. You got a lot of promotions going on right now. You even got Game Changer Wrestling making little cameos here and there.
That's right. And then, not to mention, isn't supposed to be Nick Gage and Suzuki wrestling there at some point soon? Yes. So I'm looking forward to that as well. All right, so back to some AEW. I always get off track talking about professional wrestling.
We both do.
And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, you know. It's Ruby Soho defeated the Bunny. This was just kind of like a whatever. It was nothing really.
Hey, before you talk about that, that tied up with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns segment, so you can't talk junk about
it. So they put that on in front of Brock, and do you think that makes sense?
It's tied up with the segment.
As far as what, like the ratings went?
Yes.
For that match?
Yeah, dude. The numbers are there.
I don't look at the numbers.
That segment tied up with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
That's amazing to think about, really.
Hey, man, I mean, they listen, and you know, CM Punk and Matt Sydal, 18 to 49 demographic, went over SmackDown as well.
That's pretty incredible. Think about it.
And SmackDown did beat them overall in numbers, but 1849, AEW dominated them.
Yeah, and SmackDown added an extra half an hour for this episode, which honestly I didn't really see much of a point to, because they didn't add anything extra. I mean, the matches, still the same amount of matches, still the same amount of bullshit.
Yes, and they got smoked by AEW. I hate to say it.
Yes. We'll get into the SmackDown. You're right. We'll get into SmackDown in a second. Let me ask you. I think this is hilarious. I think Dan Lambert might be one of the greatest managers or characters in professional wrestling today. A lot of people think he's just ridiculous. I think he could use some managerial style clothing outside of just a button up and jeans. You know, he looks like a retail dad or something, you know. But he just but his character and the fact that he calls the inner circle jerks, that's like the best thing ever. I died laughing when I heard it. So I think he cuts some of the greatest promos. Literally thought Don Callis was like my favorite manager at this time period, but I think Dan Lambert's like close second. He's like real close. So
yeah, they're going head to head right now. I really enjoy both of them.
Yeah.
And they got Paul Heyman on the other channel.
Paul Heyman's, I mean, that guy's just legendary since the time he became a manager. He's been doing it, it's got to be 35 years as a manager, right? There's 30 probably since like 87, 88, he started as a manager. So the guy's been, yeah. All right, so Chris Jericho, Sam McGuire, and Jake Hager, let me make sure I got this right, went against Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, and Junior Dos Santos, supposed to be Dos Santos' pro wrestling debut.
First ever debut. And then I heard that he only like did it for like an hour and he got it.
Really?
That's crazy.
That is crazy. You've been a wrestler for a number of years. It's not that easy.
It's not that easy, but you gotta understand too, like you're in the UFC obviously, but
yeah,
you will get it if you get it. If you like you have that mentality to get it, you can get it. But for him to get it for that amount of time for a 6-man tag, I mean, it's fairly. It could be hard, but it could be easy as well. Because all you gotta do is follow certain direction. So basically,
run the ropes and learn how to slam and do certain things. You know?
Yeah. So I mean, 6-man tags are limited. So I mean, if you had a singles match, then that would have been different. That would have been way hella different. Right. But he had 5 other good workers in there, and he looked great in there. I enjoyed it.
And on top of that, Sky, Page, and Dos Santos were the victors. Let's see what else we got here. Saturday Night Dynamite. Let's skip into that because then we'll just do all the WWE together. Of course, last week Malachi Black was, I guess, taunting Dante Martin, excuse me. I almost forgot his name for a second. Jesus. And sprayed the green mitt or the black mist, excuse me, in his face last week. And so, excuse me, this week he came out. They did a pretty decent match that went about 9 minutes, which I don't want to say that he dominated, but he mostly dominated. But Dante did get some stuff in there, and before he fell victim to Malachi Black.
I enjoyed this match.
Yeah. I don't know where they're going with Dante Martin and Leo Rush as his side, I guess manager style person.
Well, now later on, though, he did announce that he gonna be his tag team partner. So I was wondering what they gonna do with his other partner, which was in Top Flight.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens probably soon. Something will happen. I'm going to read this properly, so hang on one second. Let me get to my notes. No problem. The Super Ranas defeated the Lucha Brothers. Super Ranas were actually revealed to be FTR in luchador outfits and masks and stuff. Why didn't they just come out dressed like the Conquistadors? I would have freaking popped for that.
I would have popped for that too, yeah. I would have popped for that too.
FTR are the new AAA Tag Team Champions. So apparently they are signed to AAA. I heard Dave Meltzer say on the radio today that they have signed on to work a certain number of dates in AAA as the champions. So, and it was a AAA Tag Team titles under AEW rules. So,
yes.
I guess yeah. This was another
that they made history though. So now they don't want the Smackdown, the Raw tag team titles, NXT tag team titles, AEW tag team titles, and the AAA tag team titles.
But
all they need is New Japan. They be all set.
Well, I'm going to tell you that this is why that this is the greatest tag team of the modern era. And they're a
Yes.
throwback to the old days where guys like you and I grew up in the 80s and 90s that they're just a phenomenal old school style tag team.
Yeah. Added credentials up to Legion of Doom, Road Warriors,
Yeah.
Steiner Brothers. Yeah.
And let's see here. John Moxley crushed Wheeler Yuta. I kind of felt bad for Wheeler Yuta. You know.
Somebody had to do the job. I'm just gonna say
Yeah,
that.
I have it
Hate to
clocked in
say it.
here at 47 seconds. I mean, you know, the Super Click defeated the Dork. I almost called them. All right, I'll just say the Dork.
That's funny. The
The
Dark
Dork.
Order. The Dork
Yeah,
Order.
I've been saying that for a long time, so I'm kind of used to it.
There's another podcaster that says that too, but it's funny. The Dark Order.
Penelope Ford defeated Kiera Hogan. This was a pretty good match. I love Kiera Hogan. I think she's great. I liked her a lot in
She's
Impact.
underrated.
Yeah, it's completely. I'm glad to see her in move from Impact to AEW.
Yes.
Because then
Hey,
it's
she
just
made
more
cameos at
opportunity.
NWA too. She made a cameo
She
at
did.
NWA.
She was on Empower. Actually, I think I didn't watch today's NWA. I'll probably get to it after this, maybe, or tomorrow morning. But she did make in recent television episodes. I think maybe last week's episode. I think I can't remember fully. And of course, someone we were just talking about, not Daniel Bryan, but defeated Bobby Fish. So that was another really good match.
Yeah, Brian Danielson continuing to put in the work in AEW, and Bobby Fish continuing to find that fountain of youth, and and just it was good. Listen, it was a great match.
Was this his first, or Danielson's first match under a half hour since being in AEW?
Yes.
Clocked in at 12 minutes. Every other match, I think he's done about roughly a half an hour. Not to mention AEW. MJF cut a hell of a promo on
Darby Allin.
Darby Allin. Thank you very much. I'm drawing a blank here. Sting eventually came out, and then
Silencio, por favor, silencio. It's bad enough that I am currently inside of a place that reeks of hookers and gasoline, known as Mid-Miami. But now, Justin Roberts, you can dress up like Miami Vice, but you can't do your job? You can't announce me as I come out to the ring for my match against Darby? Are you kidding me? You know what, Miami? I'll do it for them. Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you are deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or by the looks of it, very poor. Hailing from the most magical place in the world, Plainview, Long Island, New York, weighing in at a svelte 226 pounds, he's better than you, and you know it, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF!
There is no match here. I don't care how he's dressed. There's no match.
All right, Darby, let's get this over with. Let's get to the
WWE
match.
Friday Night SmackDown. I'm gonna go for this. The SmackDown wasn't terrible. It was not terrible.
No. It was.
I think SmackDown's been the better show for the better part of I don't know, a year and a half, maybe. Yeah.
2 years. 2 years.
All right, we'll say 2 years. That's a good thought. We'll just say
The
that.
best one ever that ever. There have been a few good ones, but the really good one that we all remember was the NXT one when everybody was stuck in Saudi Arabia, which was like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. That's right. You know, that's funny that you said that because I believe I was listening to Alvarez and what the fuck's his name again? Meltzer today, and they said something very similar about the when they were being held hostage. They called it, and that they just brought up a bunch of NXT guys suddenly. It is what it is, I guess. But yeah, that was a really good one. You know, before we actually break down SmackDown, They did a really good job with the NXT invasion a couple years ago into WWE, or into the main roster, I should say. And then it was just all over, and they didn't give two shits. And I thought that was an amazing.
That's why.
Well, probably.
It's
it's
messed up, but that's what happened.
Yeah, because I mean that was the actual wrestling show. Out of the brand, the company, whatever you want to call it. So not to mention, it was one of those things where it's like that was probably the greatest Survivor Series they had in a long time. I mean, I always enjoy the Survivor Series, but it was a lot of fun because it was just something about it. And then that Raw and SmackDown for those few weeks were just great when all the NXT guys would just show up. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much that story.
I enjoyed that time. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was a great time. And then all of a sudden it just went down the shit. Yeah, I can't. It's hard. So
hey, NXT, hey, at least they keep up with the tradition. They're doing Halloween Havoc.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what? I'm actually surprised because I saw that announced. I saw it mentioned online today, and once they said Halloween Havoc, I was like, huh, maybe they're not getting rid of everything, or maybe there's just something in the works. Maybe they're just like, shit, this shit is not working for us. You know what I mean? Because it looks like a B-rated. It looks like watching, I don't know, AWA in 1991. It was just garbage. You know, it was just pure shit before they went out of business. Back to SmackDown. King of the Ring semifinal. Oh, Finn Balor defeated Sami Zayn. Yes. I'm not entirely surprised about this. Not at all. I'm telling you. But for some reason, it was like a little glimmer of hope that Sami Zayn might go a little bit further. Little bit. I thought it would have been good because I think he's just a really good hand and he's a good talent. I think he's hilarious. I just think he deserves a spot. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he deserves this too. He's real good. I enjoyed all his time in NXT, and plus when he he went to the main roster to make his debut against John Cena. But it's just, he has continued to show that he's a really underrated worker. Mm-hmm. And I thought he's gonna go to finals too, but he cannot go to the finals. He cannot.
Oh, that's right. For religious purposes, they don't agree with his. That's that's a good point, man. I almost forgot about that. And he was not allowed to go over there because of his religion in last time. So poor guy.
He's bound to lose in the semifinals.
Yeah. Let's see. Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler defeated. Hang on, Naomi. It wasn't.
Yeah, Naomi. It is Naomi.
It was Naomi. Yeah, was it a triple threat?
Match. It was supposed to have been.
Oh,
it was supposed to be a singles match between Naomi and Deville, but then she ended up intervening Shayna Baszler.
All right, got you.
That story's being told. That story's being told that Naomi keep on getting treated unfairly by Deville.
Got you. That story's been going on for a little while. I have a feeling it's going to end pretty soon. I mean, the whole whatchamacallit, Shayna Baszler's going to Raw, right? Is she going to Raw? No.
Oh, she's coming to SmackDown.
Coming to SmackDown
with Charlotte.
Yeah, that's right. Charlotte's coming, and we're going to talk about that when we talk about Raw. Man, I keep messing everything up tonight. Jeez.
It's okay. Okay. This is our first podcast on like a Wednesday. Well, we're doing it on Tuesday night going into Wednesday, so
we normally record these.
Yeah, we usually be prepared on Sunday.
Yeah, we normally record these on Sunday, so everything's still fresh, even though we're reading at the notes. And then I'm like, sometimes I go back and I'm like, wait, that really happened? Like, so it's kind of confusing, especially WWE is not very memorable right now. So, with the exception of certain moments, the Queen Crown Tournament semifinals, Zelina Vega defeated Carmella, which means Zelina Vega.
Can we say that the Queen's Crown Tournament is ass? I'm sorry.
It's pure shit. It's pure shit.
Yeah,
it is.
This is drizzling shits.
It is. It's just ridiculous because it's. I mean, it was when they first announced it earlier in the year, I was a little bit excited. I was like, all right, that's cool because they're doing something different for the women. It's gonna the King of the Ring was always like one of the best parts of the year. You know what I mean? That when growing up, and then they just kind of did away with it. But then all they did was put it on a Raw or SmackDown or whatever, and then they just kind of made it irrelevant that way, I thought. So them doing the Queen's Crown, I was like, all right, that's cool. But they just use like all the, for lack of a better term, 90% of the women that they use, I'm going to say this about the men too, it's all like the mid-card to jobber guys. If you catch my drift. You know what I mean? It's guys that, it's like, you know,
drift, they're not. All the past King of the Rings has been like that. It just now,
they are.
It's now the roster is just so watered down now. You can't take them seriously.
Well, half the guys have either been released or left the company. The guys that had potential. I mean, Bobby Fish, for one. This is only, earlier in the year. This guy could have been brought up to the main roster. The guy's an amazing talent.
Rusev. Now
Miro. Yeah. Who is killing it in AEW. I think he's doing a really good job. He didn't start off great there, but, you know, that whole best man thing wasn't phenomenal, but...
He's paying his dues.
I guess he's got to start over, right?
Yeah.
So the Usos defeated the Street Profits, tongue-tied there, to retain the tag titles. I didn't really care about this. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you.
It's actually a good match. I give it to him.
Yeah, I'm just...
Even though it was like the 30th rematch.
Yeah, so I mean, once you see the same match over and over and over, it's, you know. And Sasha Banks defeated Becky Lynch in a non-title match.
Yes, the first pin in over 2 years.
Wow, now that's incredible. So, which means I'm guessing that Becky Lynch is going to walk out with the belt and crown jewel. That sounds like that's a setup because she just.
I don't even know because after what happened last night, I don't even know.
We're going to get into the lineup for crown jewel. Maybe we could talk about our predictions as well.
Yeah.
I didn't really think it was like phenomenal. Of course, they had the meeting with Brock and Roman, the contract signing thing, right?
That's the only best story on SmackDown I have enjoyed. The Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. Now it's switched sides now.
Yeah, but I like that how Heyman's stuck in the middle. I think it's beautiful.
Yes,
because he's like, either way, I'm walking out with the champion. You know. So I think he put out a tweet. Spoiler: I'm walking in with the champion, and I'm walking out with the champion. Basically, no matter who's the champion, he's walking out. Yeah. Well, I think you and I have discussed this a couple weeks back. I don't think Roman's getting defeated at Crown Jewel.
No.
So
not for a while.
No, not for a while. And we both agreed we don't know who the hell's going to beat him. If anybody's really going to beat him, wouldn't it be Brock? But right now, I don't think...
But it wouldn't make no sense, though. It wouldn't make no sense.
At this time, Roman is like the hottest heel in SmackDown. In WWE, excuse me.
Yes.
So there's no reason to defeat him. Let me get a look on it. So right now, it's not going to happen. And if it happened, I will freaking be completely surprised. I honestly will be very surprised if it did, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's just a good chance. But I'm like, how is Roman going to beat Brock? That's the other thing. What's going to happen? Is Heyman going to turn on Brock?
Or are we going to have another non-finish?
Oh, God. It's going to make it into the quadruple digits. So I think we spoke last week about how it's been in the triple digits all year. So it keeps adding up. Yes. We're going to get into that because we got one on Monday Night Raw as well.
Yeah, we got one on tap.
That's a shame. All right. So the King of the Ring tournament continued on Monday Night Raw. Is there anything else between SmackDown and Raw that you want to discuss? We discussed this weekend's AEW, which was in between that. I don't think there was any other exciting news.
Nah, it's not what we missed. It's just we are going to talk about the King of the Ring tournament, which was real good. I enjoyed it. Xavier Woods versus guy's name just that quick.
Jinder Mahal? Jinder?
Jinder Mahal. Damn,
Yeah.
this beer is talking to me. Okay, Jinder Mahal.
Well, now you gotta do it. Cheers. I like Jinder Mahal. I think he's terribly underrated.
Yes.
Because he was basically a goof in his earlier years in the company. But
Yes,
I think the guy's a former. Do you think, honestly, a lot of people shit on him for ever holding the title?
he's a former WWE champion.
Right. That's not to say the guy didn't pay his
Can't take
dues.
that away from him.
He's also, let me tell you, two members of three-man band held that world title, the WWE title. There's only one that didn't. And so that's a shame. And that the one that didn't is a pretty talented wrestler as well.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully you get the Impact Championship soon. Hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch last week's Impact. I probably will. They got a pay-per-view coming up this Saturday, which I will be watching. And
Bound for
unfortunately,
Glory. I used to watch one every year. I used to watch every year.
I will be boring everybody, but with this talking about that this week coming up, because I know Impact is a hard show for me to watch sometimes. Sometimes it's really good. Other times it's just like, what the fuck are they doing?
People say it's good, but I've been watching. I don't know. I haven't been lucky. I watch it. I'm like, what is this?
Okay, so it's not just me then, because people are like, oh, this is such a great roster. Oh, and it's like, all right, man, let me give this a try. And I'm like, outside of watching somebody like going in there watching people like Mercedes Martinez and there's like who I'm a huge fan of, like, and I'm sitting here like, I love Eric Young. I think he's a great talent, and I kind of dig what he's doing over there now. I can't. There's something about it that's not grasping me. I don't know if I'm just confused. They also Impact is one of those companies that has their diehard fans that absolutely love what they're doing as well. Similar to WWE fans and AEW fans. It's just, I don't know, but I like Chris Bay. You guys had Chris Bay quite a few times, a couple times, I think, right? He's a great talent over there who I really enjoy watching. Somebody else,
Bullet Club there.
Some of the Bullet Club, Finn Juice is over there. For some reason, I'm just not. It seems like the pay-per-views are probably the best part of their show, the best events that they hold. The regular TV for me, and people are saying they love it, but I'm just having a hard time sitting through it. I can't really, and I try for the sake of this podcast to sit through it, but it's very difficult.
I feel you. I understand. just like Raw, which we're about to talk about in a minute.
Yeah, I actually quite enjoy. I mean, okay, let's do a little comparison. I thought this Raw was better than anything I've watched from Impact in the last couple of weeks.
Geez.
Yeah, I mean,
listen,
I'm crazy, everybody.
I'm just gonna be real right here, because recently I switched shifts on my job, and I literally took this time out to watch Raw. I literally got pissed off the first 15 minutes. Because you announced to me that we gonna have the main event between Bianca and Charlotte. Yep. You already advertised it. Why are we even having a 20-minute segment?
Why are you having this? Yeah, they do. Remember we discussed that. Yeah, they do the thing where the two wrestlers will sit there and argue, and then a match will be set up. But it was already. I get the shit in my email every week because I subscribe to Peacock. So
yeah,
nobody cares. Let's just be honest with you. I just hate those opening 20-minute promos. And it's not like Vince doesn't know that the product is stale. He knows that they're just on, what'd you say, call it a cruise control. But they need somebody to say, hey, Vince, this shit's just not working. They need to say that.
They need somebody, because it's crazy. It's every week you gotta have that segment. It's been going on for years. I don't think nobody ever sit here and say, listen,
tell him it's wrong.
I get what's going on. I get what's going on. And I get what he's doing. He's trying to set up an episodic television show where he's trying to set up a story between the top of the show to the end. And I get it. Fully. But dude, if you're advertising the match already, the story is there. You got Bianca's challenging for the SmackDown Championship this Thursday for Crown Jewel. But then you got Charlotte last appearance on Raw. So the story's already there. You got Bianca trying to win the title for Raw, which she's about to go to next week. And then Charlotte either going to take the title to SmackDown or she's going to lose to Bianca. And then Bianca can make history of winning both titles within the year. The story is there already. What are you doing? I don't need 20 minutes of them talking trash.
No. It's just...
And I said all that within 2 minutes. Dude, I just explained all
should
in
write
2 minutes.
You should write for them. I'm just saying, man. It's just that they need somebody to say, "Hey, Vince, this is not what the people want to see." Okay, Vince, you get it's, but he's just. I don't know if he just thinks he knows what the people want to see. He's on cruise control. It's the same format, and it's just like people are like, "Oh man, they need to bring it back to the Attitude Era." You don't want to go backwards. You need to go forward.
No.
The Attitude Era was successful for its time, but there is no way in hell they would be able to get away with half the shit that they did back then. It was a lot freer back then. Now you got the cancel culture and all that other shit that would break that down. So, anyways, after that, we went to the semifinals. The Xavier Woods defeated Jinder Mahal. We already went into that. Pretty good match. So, and then backstage, we had a little thing with Austin Theory, and R-Truth said that he was going to challenge Austin Theory, which I was just like, all right, I love me some R-Truth. I do love Ron Killings. I think he's great. He's just been around forever, He's evolved. That's another wrestler that's evolved with each time. You know what I mean? With his time, he was in a TNA. He did his WWF stints. He was a serious wrestler. Then he did his comedy stuff, and right now he found his place. You know what I mean? No matter in the evolution of the company. So he wanted to challenge Austin Theory, and obviously said, "Oh, I didn't accept your challenge for me. I accepted it from my friend." So there was another rematch with Austin Theory and Jeff Hardy, and Austin Theory defeated Jeff again. And after the match, I believe it was Jeff Hardy. Did Jeff Hardy attack him and take his phone and take pictures? So, what'd you think?
All right, listen. Rematch again. I was mad. I got pissed off because I was actually looking forward to R-Truth versus Austin Theory because it's something different.
Yeah.
But then when he comes out, he says it's for my friend, and Jeff Hardy music come out.
Yep.
If you could see my face, it would have been priceless.
I'm glad you said that because I was just like, I'm tired of seeing Jeff Hardy. That's one thing. It's like, I don't need to see this. They wrestled last week. It's just, and we've discussed this. We've heard everybody says it, that WWE just does too many rematches. It's like the same people wrestling each other over and over.
Every week on TV. It's not like it's a house show going to different towns.
Right.
We are watching this on TV every week. You cannot tell me, why am I watching another rematch again? And you cannot sit here and make a difference and say, oh, well, what's wrong with the rematches that they have when challenger be a champion, then the former champion do a rematch later on? That's different. That's way different. This right here, this dude beat Jeff Hardy last week. It should be done.
Again? Yeah.
Should be done. It's 50-50 booking.
So on top of it, I believe we had a segment with Big E and Drew. Basically, Drew apologizing to Big E, or apologizing to each other, and decided to work together. So we saw Big E and Drew taking on the Dirty Dogs, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. And now these two are going to wrestle each other Thursday.
Yes.
I have no idea. I'm guessing that Drew's going to take the pinfall. I think a lot of people predicted that Big E was just going to be a transitional champion and lose it when they went to Saudi Arabia. I don't see Drew winning the title in Saudi Arabia, especially considering he's going to SmackDown.
Absolutely. It's going to be his swan song for Raw. He had a good run on Raw during the pandemic, so now he's going to go to SmackDown and hopefully dance with Roman Reigns one more time.
Yeah. But I think that Big E and Drew is going to be a very good match, but we'll get into that.
Yes, absolutely.
I think so. And I really think that Big E's killing it. I mean, I've always been a fan of his, but I think right now. Mansoor defeated Cedric Alexander. I thought this was a little bit short. Did really nothing. It wasn't, it was a short match. Did absolutely nothing. But it had all the potential to go good 15 minutes and be possibly the highlight match of the episode as well. But that's WWE for you. Yes.
Yeah, it's WWE for you.
Yeah. Then there was the interview with Lashley and Goldberg. This is like a jerk-off fest for both of them, basically saying each other's going to kill each other. It was just so ridiculous. And
there's so much killing, it's not even funny.
Yeah, and I was just like, didn't WWE ban the word kill? But they're sitting there using it, so, yeah.
They just don't care. Saudi Arabia is going to be a whole lot of killing.
Oh, yeah. Well, Saudi Arabia. But anyways. RK Bro defeated the Street Profits in a tag team match via disqualification. This was an okay match. I know. I don't know. I said that I despised RK Bro, but kind of growing on me a little bit.
It coming together, I told you. They come together.
And I think Randy Orton finally, after what a good, God, got to be 18 years, is starting to grow on me as well, because I've never really been a huge fan of his.
That is funny.
There's times where he bored the shit out of me, but now I think, honestly, like, he's starting to get my respect a little bit, because I think that he's just a good talent there. You know what I mean? He's just he's doing some good there, and him being paired with Riddle, I think, is good for Riddle, really, because trying to help get Riddle over a little bit in that crowd, but the stupid comedy stuff is just, oh my God. Riddle acting like a stoner all the time. So you want to talk about the most ridiculous match? You want to talk about the most ridiculous match of the night?
Which one was that?
Doudrop defeating Shayna Baszler. My God.
Well, you knew that was going to happen. I'm just going to let you know that. I hope you knew that was going to happen. Because Shayna Baszler versus Zelina was not going to work.
No, but now Doudrop's going to be the finalist in the Queen's Crown, whatever you want to call it. So
yeah, she got make up for the bad angle she did with Eva Marie.
This is gonna be terrible. This is I just don't
You have no faith? You have no faith whatsoever?
I have no faith. If she wins the Queen's Crown, I'm just gonna be like, what the hell just happened? Literally. It's one of those things. And of course, Finn Balor defeated Mace to make it to the finals of the tournament. This one was over in like a flash, just as short as the Mansoor Cedric Alexander, if not shorter. What was Mace's name? His real name? I can't remember. I was trying to look at her earlier. He was on there last week and he got it, or not last week, last year during the pandemic era, and got the shit kicked out of him through a table.
F5 into a table. You never seen it again.
Yeah. And then he came as part of the what the hell is that team? Yeah.
Retribution.
Thank you. I'm sure I could look it up if I really wanted to. Hang on, let's see if we can find it. But I'm surprised to see him back, to be honest with you. So,
well, he had no heat. Well, is it him and Dominic? Was it Dominic? No, Dominic De Niro.
You're about to say Dominic DeNucci? Dio Madden. There we go. Dio Madden.
I got my name all up now. There's no more drinking during these podcasts no more.
This is
all you name.
Wow. Don't do that to me. I've been off worse. I'll tell you off air one of the worst nights that we've had doing this podcast. Of course, Bianca Belair and Charlotte went to a disqualification for the Raw Women's Championship. This, another non-finish in a main event for a title on WWE TV.
Good match, too.
This was a phenomenal match. I thought that this match was just amazing. I thought it was really, really good. I wasn't exactly sure how. I mean, I didn't really expect Charlotte to lose on Raw, but seeing that she's leaving, I wouldn't really, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? But you never know. Sometimes they like to surprise you on Monday Night Raw, where you actually do think it's going to go a different direction. I thought it was, I think that Bianca Belair is going to be has a huge future in WWE as in the women's division. I think she's awesome. She's really good. I've said that from her time in NXT. That I thought she was great. Charlotte obviously is she's a living legend, really. 14-time champion. She's still got a plenty of really great years ahead of her. When's she going to beat her father's record? So I don't know. I thought this was a really good match, but I hated the ending. Hated the ending. Did you see? I think she got a split lip or something. There was a little blood on her chin. So no blood on WWE TV. There's 2 weeks in a row there was blood on WWE TV. Did you see? I was like, what the hell are they doing?
They're making noise.
Yeah. It's them being rebellious. So, yeah. But that pretty much wrapped up Raw. I cannot believe that you made me sit through it. So...
I did too, so I feel your pain.
No, it wasn't terrible, because I got to be honest though, that's probably the first episode in a couple years I've actually sat through in its entirety. I will say that. So
I was on vacation, but this one right here, I was like,
yeah,
what did I talk us into?
It's all right. We got a podcast. We got to talk about what's. I guess I was about to say what's hot, and I'm not going to say that was really hot, but to set up before the big Saudi Arabia show, which we're going to talk about in a second. So overall, I'd probably rate that show probably a C at the highest. And let's fuck it, give it a D.
I give it a minus.
Yeah, probably closer to a D. Yeah. I got to say that because it was just a weird show. Very weird.
Yeah.
I thought SmackDown was way better. I don't know. I'm not watching NXT tonight, so I'll probably try to watch that tomorrow and then give you hell about that later. As long as they're setting up Braun Breaker.
Hey, shout out to speaking of NXT, shout out to Carmelo Hayes for winning the North American Championship.
Yeah, Christian Casanova, New England guy. Yes, another guy from our area now on WWE TV with a title. That was phenomenal. That's awesome. Congratulations. I just want to say, if there's anybody still listening, we have buttons. Buttons. Email pwzpodcast@gmail.com if you want a free button. We'll mail it out to you. I got a stack of envelopes, by the way, upstairs that I got to send out that are filled with buttons. So, or if you see me at a show, ask. Just give you a few.
Get those buttons.
Yeah.
Promote.
I'm trying to promote. Anyways, we got Crown Jewel coming up Thursday. It's a day away, which I don't know, man. This doesn't seem like it's going to be a terrible show. Those shows are not necessarily the greatest of shows, but they're all right.
This show is stacked.
It is for them, for them running over there. The Universal Championship, obviously, Roman Reigns taking on Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman will walk out the manager of champions, no matter who is the champion.
No matter who.
WWE Champion Big E takes on Drew McIntyre. I'm going to go with Big E on that one.
Absolutely.
SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch against Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. I would not be surprised if a title did change hands here.
Becky's going Sasha again.
I was about to say that. I was going to say Becky's going to Raw, correct? So I would not be surprised if Sasha would walk away with the title. I don't think they're going to put it on Bianca right now. So I think there's definitely going to put it back on her. It's just a matter of when, and it's got to be a strong storyline. I think there's a very good chance Sasha will walk away with the title.
Absolutely.
And of course, there's Bill Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. I don't know, man, because
we already know Goldberg will take it.
I was gonna say, but he did. There is a couple times he did take the fall recently. Well, at least one that I could think of. No, maybe two. He did take the fall
They
to.
took two.
It took one to Undertaker and then one to Drew McIntyre, right? So, I mean, it is.
He's been jobbing a lot lately. Braun Strowman beat him. Drew McIntyre.
You're right.
Bobby Lashley beat him.
That's correct. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, just based on the storyline, I would not be surprised if Goldberg went over, but you never know, really. It's just, I mean, Bill Goldberg loves to come around for those Saudi shows. He gets a hefty paycheck for those, huh?
Yeah, hefty pay, yeah.
I mean, he probably doesn't
Millions
have to.
Dollars.
He probably doesn't have to work the rest of the year if he just works those Saudi Arabia shows.
That's it.
So
between him and it used to be Taker.
Yeah, well, we're not seeing him anytime soon or again, probably, unless it's his Hall of Fame induction. That's probably the next time we'll see him. Of course, the Raw Tag Team Champions, RK Bro, taking on AJ Styles and Omos. I think RK Bro are walking away with the titles here. I don't think AJ and Omos are going to take the belts.
Me neither.
Of course, we got the King of the Ring finals, Finn versus Xavier Woods.
This may be a show stealer.
I think it's absolutely going to be a show stealer. This is probably going to be the best match of the night because just based on the talent that these two gentlemen have. I would not be surprised if Xavier does win it. I think it seems like they really want to build him up now. He's the only person in the New Day that did not get up here as of yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Finn Balor walked away. The guy's kind of, I don't know what they're doing with him right now. They're just building him again. So it depends. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I think Xavier may take it. He's been advertising for it. He's been fighting for it. So he grew up loving. So hopefully he takes it. Would be a good launching pad for him.
Yeah, I think it definitely would be. It's usually a really good launching pad for a lot of superstars. Of course, like you said when we were talking about earlier, the King of the Ring basically became like a mid-card to jobber like tournament in recent years, especially because it's been on just plain television, not exclusive television show. So it really became pointless in a way, unless,
Absolutely.
So the Queen's Crown tournament finals, which was Doudrop and Zelina Vega. I don't know, man. I have no clue. Like,
that? Who you think will take that?
I really don't. If they put it on Doudrop, I'm gonna be pissed. If they put it on like a comedy wrestler, I really am. Like, she's just corny and ridiculous. So,
she's a good talent, though. You can't sleep on her.
Okay? I mean, she skips to the ring. So
that's what she's doing. What she's told. Hey, I'm sorry.
All right. No, you're right. I don't really predict. I don't know. I
don't like it either. I fully agree with you. I don't like it either, but
I mean, WWE, I guess, has done worse. So there wouldn't be a surprise if they put her on there. And this match, I think, is going to be phenomenal because one of these gentlemen always put on a phenomenal match. And Mansoor and Mustafa Ali. I think this is going to be a great match.
It's going to be a real good match. If they give him enough time, yeah.
Yep. Give him a good 10 to 15. Mustafa, when he used to do those pre-shows all the time for WWE when he was Cruiserweight Champion, man, that dude, it's a shame that they were all on pre-shows and they were like half-empty arenas because those matches were hot. Mansoor is going to take this, absolutely 100%. I don't have any other doubt that he is not going to walk away this match.
Absolutely. That's his home country. So
yeah, he always goes over. He's there. Yeah,
he always goes over, brother.
So that is the week in professional wrestling so far. Anything else you'd like to add or talk about before we get out of here?
Nah, we covered all AEW, WWE. We even segued in some Impact Wrestling. We are good. We talked about ratings, but we just got updates. Just PAPW November 13th, and we got Taco Fest this Saturday in Maine, in One Orchard Beach, and also Hartford, Bushwick Park. On, I got all my months mixed up. I think it's
next month. It's the following
October.
week. Yeah, it's next
October 30th.
Yep.
But I
Oh,
will be at
we
Shut Up
need-
and Wrestle on October 30th, so I will not be there. I'll be at Shut Up and Wrestle, wrestling for the Shut Up and Wrestle Championship against Marcos. And obviously, we got Type 1 to None round 3, November 13th. And we got a few Alley Fights updates popping up soon. Stay tuned.
I hear that. Also, don't forget this weekend, this Sunday, is the Wrestling Classic convention. There's Sergeant Slaughter, Jacques Rougeau is going to be there. The House of Pain, our friends will be there as well.
Nice.
There's just a lot of legends in the professional wrestling industry over there. Of course, I can't think of all the names, so go to thewrestlingclassic.com or on Facebook, The Wrestling Classic. Check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of wrestlers. I think Sheik Adnan LKC is going to be there. So, you know, a lot of really good wrestlers, legends are going to be there for that convention. It should be fun.
Absolutely.
And thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Don't forget, check out at Showtime Marcel. Don't check out at PWZ Podcast on all social media formats. Like, share, subscribe. Help us hit that 1,000. Hit that bell. You'll get a notification every time we want to put out some sort of content for you. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us.